God, it's really rainy. Why did I pick today to record? And it's also messy as hell. Procrastinating, as usual. And I'm going to be trying to plastic weld my bumper here with bumper scraps and a soldering iron, as well as some sandpaper. I've never officially plastic welded myself, or just essentially melted shit together. But yeah, I'm going to be messing around in my garage today, and maybe we could both learn a thing or two. Cheap-ass soldering iron that I got. Over here, I've got a wedge. It's completely optional, but I have some 80 and 120 grit sandpaper. It doesn't really make a big deal. You're just roughing it up before you paint it. And I'm not going to paint it in this video, which is going to be a short one of me fixing it. And I'll paint all that in a separate video because I got another one to do. But we'll get to that when we get to that. Here on the back, it was already touched up. The only thing it's doing is holding this bumper in the same place it was before. And you can do the same thing with zip ties or tape. So yeah, have a material that will mesh with the plastic that your bumper's made out of, which it's easy to just go get some, but you can't always get another bumper, or you just have some junk lying around that you want to go ahead and fix. Look at that guy. Those are some sharp shadows. I should fix my lighting. So while I wait for my soldering iron to heat up, I have a box fan here and the door open over there. Do it outside or have a fan on. And there's an air gap that you can't see right here. A small one right here. Let's put that one in there. I'm dragging it in between the two right now. We'll see what works best. It's a really high spot on one side, so I'm dragging it down and over into the other side. What are you looking at? Here's a close-up of the area that I had welded, or melted, essentially. So, camera focus. Here's the top of the crack from the front going down, and here's the large air gap that I was talking about. Most of this is sealed in, pressing on it with this pick. Right here's a little one. You can see it going in a little bit. Here's another one. It's almost good. I can still do better. So I'm gonna keep going at it. And then the rain thickens. Yeah, if you look at it up top, the body's, or the edge is not flush. So we'll have to see what we can do about that. But also, because it's already stuck where it was stuck, I can pry it a bit, but it doesn't really want to give. And I mean, it was a smashed bumper, so. You know, I would have something clever to say, but nah. Sanded it down. There wasn't a big air gap here, so that one was very easy to work out. What the fuck was that? Everyone in my garage is haunted. We have the top side, and it looks like hot garbage now that I'm done. Right here, especially this area, there's a large gap in between the body, at least 1/4 of an inch, and that's a lot more than body filler can do. For average Joe like me, for a piece of shit Taurus that nobody's ever going to care about, this will get the job done. It's heating up and cracking the paint, which you should probably clear off beforehand, but it looks like it's coming together. All that lighting. This is probably that halfway point through the project where you're looking at it and you're like, oh my gosh, this is so horrifically ugly. Just keep going. You got it. Alright, I'm gonna unplug this thing before I hurt myself anymore. And, ow. Don't touch your soldering iron. So, it looks like shit, but truth be told, this thing can hold the entire bumper's weight now. Picking it up by just that one spot, so. I mean that's fine. Also, don't burn holes in it. Alright, let's get to sanding a bit. Alright, let's not talk about that vertical position ugly ass camera view. So, I sanded it down, it being whiter right here. There's still some pitting in the areas where I didn't add any plastic, so if you're going to plastic weld or bumper repair at all, make sure you add extra plastic and then just sand it down. And then of course I knew it would be an issue with the body line here, but whenever the piece was set in place it was lower, so make sure if you're trying to attach any like flaps like I did here that you have it in the right place and on the visible side first, and then afterwards work on the back side since you're not going to see it. But hopefully by watching me make horrible mistakes you don't make as many if you decide to do this. And also make sure you ventilate it. Those plastic fumes are pretty nasty. So when you attach a larger piece to it, you want to reinforce it with mesh or something to back it up, but this is a smaller flap and it still bends with the body and doesn't crack or have any holes. I can push and bend the whole body piece with this one flush bit. So I think it'll be good enough to go back on my car, but I need a filler and paint this back in, and that'll be a whole nother demon to do another day. So thanks for watching. We'll just keep it short.